Craig, what do Liverpool do with Nunez at season's end? Sell or keep? So, at the minute, it's not looking great, Stevie boy. It isn't. You know, I'm not going to sit here and say anything other than Darwin Nunez has a lot of improvements to make. An awful lot. This was another disappointing cameo from him from the bench. But he wasn't on his own today. We can't just sit here and blame Darwin Nunez. All of our attack-minded players today were off it. Mohamed Salah had a very poor game. Diaz had a poor game. Jota had a poor game. Szoboszlai, little bit better than poor. McAllister didn't look himself. Gravenberch, I thought, had a good game. I thought Gravenberch played well. Our centre-backs, not too bad either. I think Virgil was the better of the two today, in my opinion. Full-backs, I'm not very pleased with today's performance, to be honest with you. And Alisson Becker, I don't really think did too much wrong either. So, you know, that's kind of my assessment of the game. We didn't create enough, and that's on us. Again, I don't like lazy moaning about low blocks. We should know about this. It's the Premier League. These things are going to happen. And it seems to be an Achilles heel that has caused us problems for a very, very long time. Under Jurgen, now under Arne Slot today. And we need to figure out a way with the level of attacking talent that we have at the club to make a low block not an issue. Find a way to get through, break them down. Darwin needs to put some effort in. Look, Darwin defo needs to pull his socks up. He does. I've been somebody who's tried to be fair with Darwin and tried to give him the benefit of the doubt. But he's going to have to do it this season. It is a make or break season from at Liverpool, in my opinion. I don't want to tell everybody else how long to give him or not. But for me, he really, really needs to start looking like the player that we brought in from Benfica. Because the version of Darwin that we're seeing in the little cameos we have, it's been nowhere near good enough. But again, it wasn't him today. Any of those substitutes, none of them made a difference. Gakpo didn't make a difference. Costas didn't make a difference. None of them did. And that's worrying. The problem is with Darwizzi, if we let him go and he rips it up, then we look dumb. It doesn't matter though. The problem is that he's not performing for Liverpool. I get what you're saying, and it would be a kick in the nuts to let the guy go and then see him doing it elsewhere. But if his heart isn't in it at Liverpool, or if he isn't able to get up to the standards that we need for a player that could cost the club up to €100 million, then Liverpool have a serious question to ask. But the big problem that I've been banging on about is these contract extensions are just going to become more and more of an issue. They're going to become more and more of a talking point. They're going to become more and more of a reason for media and opposition fans to undermine Liverpool, to say everything's not rosy in the Liverpool garden. And looking at Trent today, I mean, looking at his body language, in all honesty, I wasn't impressed. Take out the performance and how he played, I didn't like the way he was going around the pitch. I didn't like the way he was chirping back to Michael Oliver all the time. He just looked like... What's the word I'm looking for here? He just looked like he hadn't got the winning mentality today. His body language just didn't impress me whatsoever. Darwin looked like a player who knows his days are numbered. Again, it's very difficult to defend Darwin. It just is at the minute. Anybody who is criticising him, look, he's got to take it on the chin. He needs to pull up his socks, and he needs to show that he wants to be here, and he needs to show that he's good enough to be here. That's as honest as I can be about it. We have the team that we have, the squad that we have now until at least the January window. We've got to figure out ways. Games are going to come thick and fast. What I was surprised about today, actually, was that Arne Slot didn't alter the starting 11 at all before the game. I thought we may have seen one or two changes. Maybe Gomez brought in, potentially even a change up top. But he didn't. He went with the same 11. It didn't work out. And it's up to him now to learn that this is the Premier League. It is a difficult league to grind out wins week after week. And you can't do anything but come in and play it 100% or you're going to be punished. Slow build-ups don't give Nunez a chance. Nothing seems to give Nunez a chance though. Slow build-up, balls into the channel. He's a big physical lad. He should be able to get in the end of those with headers. He should be able to use his physicality in the penalty area to hold off a defender. I mean, what are his strengths? You know, what should we do to get Darwin up to speed? Because every time I've seen him play this season, he's had opportunities when there's been space in behind. He's had opportunities when we played against teams with a low block, and he's not done anything. You know, we can't just keep saying, oh, Darwin. Darwin needs to just get his finger out and up his work rate. You know? That's the honest answer here. We can't just keep pampering the lad. He needs to do it for himself. Hack said, when Nunez scored the brace against Newcastle and had a good run of form to January, I thought we finally unlocked him. I agree. When he came on against Newcastle, mate, he turned that game around on his own. You know, we were a man down, if I remember correctly. Darwin came off the bench. We were losing 1-0 and bang, Darwin scores 2 very good goals and we win the game. So we know what he can do. But it's about getting him to be able to do it consistently. And at the minute, I don't know whether it's a lack of confidence or his heart's not in it or he doesn't like being at Liverpool. But we're not seeing the Darwin Nunez that we know he's capable of being. And that's, I think, what frustrates a lot of Liverpool fans. Because if Darwin Nunez was never showing these great assets that he has, people would understand a little bit more, I think. But the fact that we know the level the dude's capable of, it does make it a little bit more frustrating when we're not seeing it. Russ, how are you, bro? He said, Darwin, not good enough. He's had his chance. Well, at the minute, we're going to have to kind of persevere. You know, we probably get Jayden Danns back in maybe, another 4 weeks, something like that. Maybe the manager will fancy giving Jayden Danns some opportunities. But right now, you know, Chiesa will come in, but the group of forwards that we have that can play through the centre are Jota, Darwin and maybe Chiesa. Darwin has attributes, Gakpo has nothing. Well, I tell you what, one of them's had a far better Liverpool career than the other so far, and his name's Cody Gakpo. So you may say Cody Gakpo has nothing. I would respectfully, very strongly disagree with you on that one. He's given a lot more for this football club, in my opinion, than Darwin Nunez has. And I would trust them a lot more than Darwin Nunez.